Hello and welcome to Slade on Slade. This is my wife Leslie. I am Keith, and the pencil in my ear is supposed to make me look smarter. Is it working? Today's episode is Steps to Writing. Now I'm going to pump my book, The House of Ribbons. Going to be due out at this point, I don't even know, in the next couple of months. It's at the end of the editing phase.
So the first step that they say in writing a book is to develop a writer's mindset.
Yes!
So how did you do that?
How did I do it? I'm going to show you how I did it. Check it out. I'm digitally picking my nose. Not as cool as really doing it, though. Okay, so some of you may know I had a injury on my last deployment, and I needed a very intensive surgery on this shoulder right here. And I was laid up for a while, and for almost 2 months. Okay, my arm.
Because you had that rotator.
Well, yeah, but then I had to start physical therapy. But for a while, my arm was immobile, which was a pain in the ass. But I was lucky. I grew up ambidextrous, so I can do things. You know, I can count to 1, 2, 7 on both hands. I can count A, B, 2, 4, 5. But sitting at a keyboard was not an option for me to type. And I also have a weird allergy, so I can't take any heavy pain medications. So a lot of those 2-3 months was me quietly trying not to cry because my wife would leave the TV on with the remote control off the couch. Yes.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, you did.
I don't remember that.
There's only so many times I can see the same goddamn movie over and over again.
I don't remember that.
So, long story short, I sat and I couldn't really do much because without the pain medication, your heart starts to beat faster, more pain. So I just lived inside my own head, and I developed after my wife kicked me in the ass before surgery, like you should write you got a couple of notebooks worth of notes. You should turn this into a story. So I just fantasized
You're
about it.
You're ahead of schedule, so just.
Am I jumping ahead?
Mm-hmm.
Long story short, I lived with it inside my mind, and I sat down at the keyboard, and then I blew way past even my own notes.
So the next thing is to create a book writing space.
Yeah, so I chose to write at a desk. I know, shocker, right? Like at a desk.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was going to do it in the tub, but I kept getting distracted. My body parts were distracting me. Yeah, like I wanted to type, but then my hands were, idle hands, devil playground. So, all right, so I set up my desk, but I had these 2 amazing Siamese cats, and they like to get up on the desk with me, so I had to put a lot of little figures like this. It's called an Imaginext figure, and my kids used to play with them, but now these are waiting for my son to be old enough to play with them. So I found when I put them up on this side of the desk and then this side of the desk, the cats wouldn't jump up and then grab my attention. So now all they do is they do this pawing at my chair, and it's always right in the middle of a very intense thought where I'm pulled out of it. Like, what the hell do you want? So now I keep cat treats and I just throw them. And I actually think they might have me trained.
So the next thing is to have a book writing software. So this is to pick whether you want to use WordPerfect, Word, or any other Word documents out there, maybe even Grammarly or anything like that might.
Yeah, if Grammarly works well for you. I don't like it as much personally.
I was just naming off a couple that I knew at the top of my
so
head.
the reason why we bring this up, because we have a buddy who wrote a book a couple of years ago, and he switched for some reason software on his computer. And he had lost a bunch of his stuff, okay? And when I mean a bunch of stuff, he had written a couple of different kids' books. He had lost all of it. His wife had put stuff on thumb drive not too long before to, look at work or something like that. That was the only reason any of that was saved. So sometimes when you change a software, you could have a real problem. So just pick one and run.
So the next thing they say is to determine what your book topic is going to be about.
Yeah, you got to write about
something.
I don't like that question. That question's whack as hell.
And then create a book outline.
Yeah, all right. So everybody's different. Like I said, I got a few friends that are writers. I only got one who's a very successful writer, friend. And some people, they do notes all over their walls. Some people do yarn that touches notes. Some people keep notebooks. I originally started with like pieces of paper I would write on, and then I would keep it in a shoebox, and I never did anything with that. But occasionally I'd go through and be like, what was her name again? Oh yeah, I spelled that wrong. I only got to fix that 1,500 times. So with me, I developed just the writing on the fly. I write on the fly, and then I make digital notes. I have a separate page I open up in notes, and I religiously live off a color palette, and these are the notes that need to be gotten to right away. And sometimes if I don't check my notes the night before when I'm half asleep, and in the morning I flow right through, I have to go in and I have to take stuff out, and then which leaves a scar, and then I have to heal that scar with the notes.
Which is what you're doing now.
Yeah, and I'm super slow when I do shit like that, because if you've written 4 pages and then I take 15 sentences out, there's your scar right there. Now what you put in, or what you now create to put in, like let's say you wanted the big reveal here and then you found out the reveal is better to be used down here, you have to take that out. That scar has to not look like a scar. You can't have that residual. So you got to do, maybe scar is the wrong word, maybe plastic surgery. You got to make that shit look good.
So the next thing you need to do is write your manuscript.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
So you write your stories.
Yeah, I take shit from my friend. She's always like, "No, I don't see why you don't write a manuscript for," because I can't be bothered to write shit twice. Because what happens is I write one thing, okay, when I tried that, and then when I wrote the other thing, I had the two were almost like twins, but then I couldn't figure out who I liked the most, and I just had to euthanize one. And I have my main area where I put my writings in, but then I have a temporary area. I write. Leslie is she is the first person who gets to read this, and then she likes it. She said, "Yeah, I like this. I think you've taken a risk that won't pay off in the end, or maybe pay off, or I want to see how it pays off." We edit everything on our end, and then it makes it into what I call the final book. That's before I even do any real revisions. And your book, your manuscript, whatever you want to call it, it's not going to look like anything until you've done your first revision. But I always recommend, and I've said this before, you always want to do 3 revisions. If you try to go too fast and publish this real quick, you're going to look back and say, fuck, I should have done this. Yeah. And, so, hey, man, slow and steady. We're not all going to live forever. And I'd like to be able to read everybody's book because I like to read. But this is a game of waiting. This is a hurry up and wait. So, while you're waiting, just turn off the TV, revise your book one more time. Other ideas will come to you. The brain you have now when you're writing will not be the brain you have in 6 months when you're reviewing and revising your book, because you're always changing and evolving.
So that brought us to the next thing, is to edit your book or revise.
Yep.
And then you also want to send it to an editor. You never want to just send it onto the publishing right after you edit.
Yeah.
So the next thing that you want to do is to choose your book cover.
Yeah. Book cover is very important. Remember, you who are watching this video right now have been in a supermarket in the last month, okay? I can tell because I'm a psychic. And you have seen either a boy or girl, whatever you like. I don't know what you are. I don't know if you're a boy or girl watching this. So you see somebody. Do you think to yourself, I would like to get to know their personality and then I'll judge them? Shut the fuck up. No, that's not how that works. You'll be like, damn, for me, that girl is hot as hell. And then from there, you want to get to know them. That's the cover of your book, okay? The cover of your book should be attractive enough to get me, as the potential buyer, to buy you out of however many that's in the genre. So if you're a romance book, that woman's got to be a very particular look. That guy's got to look like Fabio, and he's got to, have better abs than me. Clearly long flowing hair, because for some kind of reason that's sexy. Oh, I want my men to look like women. Oh, Jesus Christ.
You realize that's like an old
trope? Dude, that guy made a living. Fabio made a living before he got hit in the face by a bird on a roller coaster. He made a living on getting paid to be on book covers.
I'm just saying.
I can't believe it's not about he did that commercial too. It was like that guy was rolling in cash. But you want your book the cover to be attractive. Me, I decided to go a very simple route. Okay, each one of my books is called The House of, and I chose a beautiful door. 3 of the photos I chose I actually took because for a long time I did photography, and it was just a weird hobby I got into because I was dating a girl who was into it, and she challenged me to, use a camera. So I went that way, but we still really played with the background and did this and that. My wife did it all, and it will flash up right here. So now you can tell, you're like, wow, that's a sexy book. The reason I chose a door, because a door is really one of the first things a person encounters before they experience the inside of your home. They see the outside of your home, yes, but it's the door. Okay, when you open that door, see, I'm opening a little bit right here where it's just, make sure that thing is right there. Click, and I open it up, okay, and then you enter, you're entering in my book. So the front cover itself is the front door, and then when you open it, the body of work is the inside of the house of ribbons. You're like, oh, I snuck that in there? Yeah!
Okay, so the next thing that you want to do is to format your book. So there's certain guidelines you have to do to fit the page, the size of your book.
Yeah, I don't know any of that kind of bullshit.
So we chose to do a publishing package with our editor.
Yeah, I was talking.
So that we didn't have to worry about that shit.
I was talking with them, and I said, listen, I don't really want to do this. And they said, well, we offer a package for X amount of dollars, and I was more than happy to just throw my stimulus check at it. Only because it's just, that's, we looked into it. It was a bit of a pain in the ass. So if you're fixing on publishing something, you don't know anything about formatting for like Amazon or there's like 12 other places, and you want to put your stuff out in the digital world, you really honestly do, start boning up on it now, okay? Because it's going to take a good month to learn, and they're not all formatted the same way.
So the next thing you want to do is prepare your book for launch. So you want to make sure that everything's correct. So you're going to get your what is it called?
It's called the proof.
Your proof.
You get your so what's going to happen is, whoops, sorry. Now I don't look smart no more. So you get a book. It's called the proof, and you make sure the cover art looks good. You make sure the rear cover art looks good. Then you go inside and you read, and you physically do everything. And if there's problems, you highlight, or however you want to do it. Then you take that up with your editor, because.
Or the people that published the proof.
Or the people who published the proof. Because if you go beyond that and you were just like, oh, I just want to rush it. And like I said, I can't stress the hurry up and wait enough. If you are rushing this and you overlook mistakes.
A line? You miss a line?
Yeah, you dropped a line, completely dropped a line. I've done that. Where I'm like, what the fuck? And what it is your mind, because we are the writer, as the artist, we see what's on the page inside our mind. This is why we need an external person, because they don't see the stuff that, and sometimes I'll read stuff and we'll lightly argue back and forth where I'll say, what are you talking about? It says right here, right there. And she points at the screen and she goes, where do you see those words? It's only because I see them only in my head. But my eyes are telling me I'm looking at them.
I think we had that argument once. I was like, hey, it says this on my paper.
Yeah, I literally asked her, I said, what do you think? I'm mentally handicapped? I just read it. And she looked at it right there. And I go, oh, I guess I'm going to need to wear a helmet now because I was completely wrong. And I'm the first to admit when I'm wrong about something because I literally have no ego. So I got off track. But your proof is so important. If you let something slip through because you went too quick because of excitement, man, you're going to be super excited. You're going to get this, and this is almost the book. It's going to be permanent once it's published.
Okay, so the next thing is to publish your book. So that's just putting it on the shelves, guys. So
yeah. Even if you can't afford to do it in the physical, this book is I Am Frankenstein. Just go digital. Raise enough money, and then after you got that, what I will recommend is, even if you got the extra cash or you want to be flashy, and you do hardcover, it's going to bite you in the ass right off the bat. Okay, hardcovers are best for a second or third edition.
And then the last thing is you don't want to forget to market your book, because nobody's going to market your book but you.
Oh shit! You know what we should do? We should do some YouTube videos.
Yeah.
I think there's some people out there who will be like, God damn, that guy's ugly as hell, but that guy's wife is super hot.
So if you want to market your book, because nobody's ever going to market your book.
Yeah, you want to do something like this, okay? You want to talk about it.
If it's not this, you want to do a blog or you want to do something else. You
Mm-hmm.
want to get your name out there, because if you don't get your name out there, nobody's going to do it for you unless you pay somebody. So you also got to think that even if you go traditional, they're still not going to market your book for you.
Oh yeah, do your own advertising, because in today's society where I can come into your home, and which I appreciate, people want to get to know you. I mean,
And that is all we have for you today. So if you like our content, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button below.
ding it, ring it.
And if you want more updates on the book and videos that are coming out, go ahead and like us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr.
If you got any ideas, anything you want me to cover, whether it's toys on the wall, okay, the House of Ribbons, or pretty much anything, feel free to hit me up.
So that is all we have for you today. So we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.